Hello, it is Friday, March 17th, 2023. I think I got the closed caption stuff set up. I have a window open so that I can pause it, because apparently whenever I pause it, I at least mute my stream, the closed captionings are still going. So I need to keep close eye on that. I'm not sure how long the stream is going to be today. I decided to do it for my office, but I didn't feel like setting up a green screen. It is St. Patrick's Day, so I have a green shirt on. I guess I could have used a different color for the green screen, but that's fine. Last week, if you recall, we were doing some testing for Domino Release Candidate 18. This week, and at the end of the stream, we were focused mainly on web workers, but specifically with web workers that work in super dev mode. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Took me a little bit to play around with the OBS settings, because for some reason, even though I created a different OBS profile for all of this, it still seemed to have modified like my view and everything from my other profile, so I'm not sure how that's linked. But let's go ahead and get started with this. There are no changes in my local repository. I did do some testing in the last week or so to figure out some mechanisms that would work for us. But I'm just going to start from scratch on this one. So let's go ahead and start our Tomcat server. I thought I did, but I guess I didn't push play. That is compiling the permutation. There we go. Might have to expunge the GWT cache just to be certain, but let's go ahead and run our main web app. And then we'll be able to run the worker thread. Oops. See, that does that every single time. Let me move my display over. Whenever I start IntelliJ, it always has those errors whenever I try to run GWT for the first time. It must be something weird with the IntelliJ plugin for that. Alright, there we go. There's the main thread, and let's go ahead and do the worker. And remember, because of how web workers work in JavaScript, you have to have two different GWT applications for it. Otherwise, it won't work. So let's just make sure that we have this. And I'm running these on two different ports. The worker thread is on 9877. So let's go ahead and get that one too. So this is the worker, and this is the client. You can see that right there on both of these. And then the main application, I think it was 8,000. This one's going to automatically compile the client, as we know. Let's go ahead and open up our console here. Let's close all of our tabs. Oops. That's weird. Run that again inside the main thread. All right, so that at least shows us that we're here. So let's take a look at our worker side. Actually, let's take a look at our client. Let's make sure that we're passing something. So we're just passing the message null. We'll probably want to do some extra stuff on this, such as adding event listener for message, because whenever the worker thread posts back, we need to be able to receive those messages. And this is a message event. Let's just go ahead and cast it. We already know that it's a message event. And received message on main event data. Let's get the other class. Let's just see what we're getting back. And this is not a capturing. And we probably need to also listen for error events. This is going to be an error event. So error. Let's just print the other message for now. We can be fancy later. I'm just gonna post a message. And we are printing out inside a main thread. That way we can actually see that the entry point on the main thread did execute. All right, so that's probably good for the other main thread. Let's look up the worker side. There were a couple of things that we needed to modify for this. Don't need that one anymore. I think I just copied it into place, so I could probably just delete that. And let's take a look at our worker linker. I don't think there was anything that needed a change on this one. So this is going to be the script that it loads. And that is under the linker. I think we were having some issues with this. I am not sure, but let's open up. Where is that? Stub.nocache.js. So this is basically replacing the code server snippet for the SDM side, just to bootstrap everything. All right, so let's clean up this a little bit. Let's just get rid of some of our comments. That's fine. I think the biggest issue that I had was in the inject script tag. This guy right here. Last week, whenever we were playing around with this, we were having some cores issues. Rather than doing a fetch, which will have that issue, I think I'm going to try just import script on this. So just import scripts and that URL, and I think that will suffice to pull in that script, even though it's on a completely different port, which would typically be a cores issue, but because we're not doing a fetch and we're just injecting it directly into our page, I think that is able to bypass that issue. And then render error. This one I never actually implemented, so let's go ahead and implement that. Result status plus worker thread this dot recompiler get log URL. I'll print out a little bit of information if there's an error that comes along. And this is basically because of the other result status. If it's not okay, it'll render that error. Otherwise, it loads the app. And the load app. This one, let's take a look at. This one might be just the same as before. So let's just import script that URL. Hopefully the URL is fine. I don't think we're going to have any issues with the URL for that. That's basically it on that side. So let's go ahead and, this is the workers side, so let's go ahead and stop that server and restart it. Hopefully it's able to listen to that port. It is. All right, come over here, refresh this. All right, so here we have an error. Failed to execute import scripts on worker global script tag. Failed to load. All right, so that probably means that there's something wrong with this side. And we can find that out. Let's, can we find that out? If we were to look in sources, let's take a look at our worker thread. See what scripts were actually loaded. Here's the worker no cache. Let's put a breakpoint in here. See if we're even getting there. And we are. Okay. So we are getting inside of that breakpoint. So that probably means that there is an issue probably with the import script. Let's proceed down to that. And it's import script B plus K. So B is that one. K is that one. And I think the problem with this is because this worker no cache is being loaded on port 9877, which is basically this one. Let me just copy that over. Oops. Hello. Oh, that's weird. For some reason, it's my key bindings are going to the wrong window. It's basically trying to hit this URL, and that is not going to be found because this is actually on the host page URL. So, in order to get that, unfortunately, I need to pass some extra information. So let's say that on the main app side, if we come in here to the main app side, we have GWT SDM globals, right? Right now, that's just holding some callbacks, but let's utilize that. So let's say in the stub.no cache, where it's actually creating the globals, let's add some extra stuff like the module name. That is under module name, and a server URL, which is server URL, right? Because then on this side, we should be able to access that stuff. Because we're doing import script, we're loading it into the same port context. I think I need to restart this worker thread, if I'm not mistaken. And this is just so that I have some of this information, such as the module name and the server URL, available for this side, which is going to actually load your permutation. All right, there's that address already in use error. There we go. Come over here. Still gonna hit our breakpoint. Let's ignore that one. and come down here. And let's see, do we have GWT SDM globals? We do. And look at that. We now have a server URL and a module name. So that's very convenient. Because now in the worker linker template, instead of just import scripts, which isn't going to work, we're going to need some information here. So if self.gwt SDM globals, so if that exists, we know that we're in SDM mode. Otherwise, we should be able just to import that strong name and cache.js, right? But for super dev mode, where we actually have this GWT SDM globals, we need to be able to import scripts, but we need to do like, let me just do var globals blob equals self GWT SDM globals. Yeah. My JavaScript rusty. So this is going to be globals server URL. Oops, no way it's trying to do that. Server URL plus slash plus module name plus slash plus strong name plus cache.js. I could probably change this a little bit. Anything else anymore? And instead of doing this, I should be able to do URL equals this plus that plus URL, right? That should work, right? What? Yeah. I mean, I could do a constant on that one. All right. Let's go ahead and restart that up. It's not related. Apparently one of my apps wants to update. That's not right. I already have a URL in here. Let me just stick it there. I'm probably using my phone. Yeah, must have been. Alright, reloading this, and we get down here, and we should be able to... No, did that not hit my breakpoint? Okay, here's my breakpoint. So F this time is going to be 9877 worker cache. Is that right? Oh, I guess that's right. That makes a lot of sense. I think I mentioned it as the opposite before. So if I were to copy that, that one has a value. But if it were just pulling it from the context of the other host server, this URL would not exist. I think I had that wrong. Well, they're different permutations now, but that seems to have worked. Is that right? Don't know what that is. Let's check to see where that's coming from. I think that should be it on those files. Let's take a look at the worker entry point. Ah, So that's where it is. All right, so let's get rid of the Disney. We don't need Disney anymore. Let's get rid of that. So DOM global self, add event listener. So here we're going to listen for messages. And we can just go ahead and convert it into the message event. It looks like I need to inherit DOM. There we go. As I already say, that needs to clear up the error messages. All right, so let's just log this. Received event and worker event.data. And let's try sending it back. So this is basically just going to be an echo service for now. Oops. All right, so this just sends it back in its entirety. No big deal. And over here, I should be able just to refresh this. And look at that. Just because I refreshed it and we're in SDM mode, it was not only able to recompile the main app, but it was able to recompile the worker thread without having to restart the server. Do a full cycle build refresh. It allowed the SDM stuff to take care of it. So we are able to receive an event in the worker, and then it posts it back, and it received a message on the main. And I did get class. Probably should have did a toString on that, but we are returning a string. So let's I'm gonna change the size of this so that it's within the stream area. Main entry point. That's actually what I wanted. Instead of get class, let me do toString on that. So here it's recompiling the other client because we changed it, and there we go. And just to be certain, on the worker entry point, let's console log this. What did I call it on this side? Inside the main thread. I'll just do inside of worker thread. That way we know that it loaded. Do that. There you go. Inside worker thread. Nice. So that was able to recompile on the fly using SDM and not having to worry about a full build cycle. Nice. All right, so that should at least complete the all of the worker SDM stuff. That'll make it a lot easier to do development, being able to do it this way. But I'm not sure how to do this in a cleaner way. Right now, this is using a class loader trick, basically replacing this file, and depending on where it's at in the class path, will it win or not? I don't know. That's going to be an issue. So it might be nice to do some sort of agent, or I don't know if I'd want to do a Java agent for something like this. I'd rather just be able to use reflection or something like that to basically inject that into it. I don't know how to change this otherwise, but if you remember from several weeks ago, I don't even remember, I basically just had to remove all of the dialogue related stuff. So if you look at, let me just put some spaces in here. Whenever I recompile this, you can see that it has this compiling module thing. That's actually added in there through DOM elements, and you can't do that on a worker thread because you don't have access to the DOM. So had to strip all of that stuff out. There was like a dialogue component in here. I basically relied upon the recompiler. I don't know how much of this other stuff is needed. Probably should take a look at some of this just to see if it was even needed to begin with. I don't even know how old some of this stuff is. But that should at least work. I think there might be issues if there's an error in your page. For example, so this is the worker entry point. If I just put some random code in there, that's obviously going to be an error. But whenever I come over here, you can see failed worker thread. So that actually does show that there was an error in the worker thread, and it does come up with the log. So you can click on that, assuming that you have DevTools open. It will give you the log URL that's clickable, and you can just see what the problem was. So that's at least how I was able to get past that. I think whenever I refresh this, oh, it was showing something different the last time I was playing with this, yesterday or the day before. This seems to be behaving a lot better today. So at least you know that if you do cause an error, you'll at least be able to see it in the developer tools in the console, that there was a problem in the worker thread. I could probably make it a little bit more explicit. Please review file log. There we go. Of course, that's not going to be there until I restart, because that is a cached thing. This nocache.js is actually part of the super dev mode code server. So you do have to restart if you change any of that stuff. It's just the application side. Oh, I still need to fix this. It's just the application side that it'll do the other recompile, and you'll be able to see the changes through that. Ugh. Address already in use. It's a weird thing that IntelliJ has. Seems to keep open. I don't know if it's IntelliJ or is it the Jetty or the GWT plugin. I have no idea, but something seems to keep the port. Doesn't release it, so that a server restart can happen. So I just have to sit here and try to restart until it's actually successful. Come on. There we go. That time it worked. Reload that. There we go. Sweet. So I am going to probably go ahead and commit all of this stuff just so that I have this available from 2023. Today is the 17th. It's just view. Now what there is essentially, go. That's fine. Commit that. So right now I'm just passing a string, but what if we were to pass something else? So I am going to rearrange my screen a little bit. I kind of want the main side and the worker side kind of separated over here. So on the main side, right now I'm just passing Justin. So what if let's create a class. That's static. Final. Doesn't really matter. Class person. And then do print private age. So public person. And then let's create a constructor using all of those. And let's create our getters and setters for all of them. There we go. Now we have a person. So instead of Justin this time, let's just make sure that it recompiled, no errors, since we're still wanting to make sure that all of this is functioning correctly. So what if we were to do new person, Justin, when I am 20 years old, to be 20 again. All right. So on the worker side, we just got some kind of object. Let's actually, instead of concatenating it, where it basically does a toString, let's actually log it out on the console. There we go. And it has the obfuscated field names. I mean, that's not very pleasant, because obviously on the worker side, if you don't have access to a person, you have no idea how that's going to play out. And then whenever it passes it back, it just passes it back as a JavaScript object. So on the main app side, right here, I'm doing data to class string. There we go. Let's actually just print it out this time. That way we can see it. And look at that. It's basically identical to the main, the worker thread. But unfortunately, it is a JavaScript object at this point and unusable in regards to being able to cast it as a person, because it's not a person object, and that's going to be the big drawback for being able to pass data back and forth between your main application and a worker thread in GWT because of the obfuscation. So we need to take a look at something else, and Colin brought my attention to some of the RPC, the GWT RPC work that he has been working on, at least a few years ago. I think it's like in alpha stage right now. So let's go ahead and add some dependencies. So in our parent POM here, in the dependency management, let's add a new dependency for workers that I am going to use convertspan RPC, and this is 1.0 alpha 6. All right, so that is going to be available to our modules, and inside of the worker module, let's go ahead and add this dependency in. And because we define this dependency on the other parent POM, we don't need to include the version. And in the main, I suppose we would need it there as well. All right, that should be it on those. Let's go ahead and re-import all of our projects in Maven. Don't think we might have to restart these. Let's go ahead and restart them just to be certain. There we go. And the other worker. Let's go ahead and do that guy. There we go. And that should have been successful. There we go. All right, so let's figure this out. Let me go to my face cam real quick, because I need to grab a couple of URLs in here. This is going to be in GWT RPC on Vertispan, and this is under workers. I was just taking a look at some of this stuff. We don't really need this worker linker. I know that this is basically doing some extra stuff here. So this one is a little bit different than ours. File name property value. Let's see, worker linker. So get selection script template. This is just returning a URL. This is get file name, and that's private. That's not helpful. I guess there's a link. We're not overwriting that or overloading it. Which superclass is it using? So it's using abstract linker, and I'm just doing cross-site iframe linker. I don't know. I don't know much about the other GWT linkers, so I have no idea which way is the better way. But let's take a look at some of this stuff, because we would like to be able to use RPC for the workers. So a lot of this stuff I'm just going to have to figure out how it all works together, but I should be able to at least look at here. So yeah, let's take a look at the other worker sample. So we have a simple worker and a shared client or shared chat. Worker. I think these might be two demo, maybe? Not entirely sure, but we should pull in inherit RPC to workers, maybe. Hopefully this works. Support. Yeah, let's see if that works. All right, so let's just take a look at the meat of it. So on the other worker side, we have a app worker. And this looks like it has a worker factory. Message port self. Impl, where is that at? Might be under common. Here's my host. Let's take a look at the common here. Nope, it did not do anything. There's my host. My host. Message port endpoint. So this is similar to GWT RPC. This was annotated with endpoint, so I'm assuming this has some sort of annotation processor. Hopefully that doesn't cause any issues. This also means that we're going to need a common project because we need some sort of module that's the middle ground for both of these. Let's call this one GWT Worker Common. Don't have any sample code. Even whatever. Let's see what that does. I'm typically do this on the other command line, so I'm not sure how well this is going to work out. And in here, I just want this to be, I want to rename that directory. I know, I probably shouldn't have a different directory name, but I want to be at least consistent. Rename directory, and this is going to be client. Let's do the refactor, thanks. And here, client common. And this is going to be a GWT module as well. Let's take a look at the which POM stuff did I use on this? Yeah, I don't want to pull any of this stuff. Which plugin? So this is not the Thomas Royer one. So I can't use like a GWT archive. Jar. Yeah, let's just copy this. I think I need to do this stuff though. It's been a while since I've looked at this. May have to look back at one of my other projects just to see, but I think I do need to at least have a GWT module in here. Sources, package directory. Is my directory path on these? Web worker. Sure. Com vertis span. Oh, this is the directory. Com vertis span. GWT Web Worker Common. I don't know what we're going to need here. Probably don't need. I'll need the annotation. So yeah, I will need that. Dependencies. There we go. That. Bring in this. I don't think I need GWT dev. Why this project needed GWT dev either, to be honest. Don't know if we're gonna need any elemental stuff, but that may be fine for now. Don't need to worry about any of this stuff. Because this is a jar, it's not going to have an entry point. Don't need to worry about that stuff. Pretty simple. All right, so then in the worker dependency, this is going to be web worker common. It'll always be the same version. And let's go over to the main and that dependency. So it's going to need the common dependency as well, because that's where we're going to define our service and any of our beans that are going to go back and forth between the objects or the threads. I may need to take a break for some water here in a little bit. All right, that seemed to have loaded. So let's move this person class first. Factor. Before we do that, in our common package, convertispan GWT Web Worker common client. Data. Factor move upper level. I'm going to do this in convertispan GWT Web Worker common client data. And actually going to move it. Oh, that's kind of cool. It knew to move it into the other module. Nice. Because that was the only place that the package existed. All right, so there's our person. Let's take a look at the... wait, what is the problem here? Oh, it's because I need inherit that module. Where am I? This is the main side. Oops. Let's get rid of some of these because I'm getting confused. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to probably come over here and refresh, recompile. Oh, I guess I stopped the servers, didn't I? No, I did not stop the servers. Probably should, though. Let's restart that. Yeah. It's like, I can't find this. It's because you have to restart whenever you change the class path. Otherwise, it won't be able to find it. Go. Refresh that. Recompiling the client. Recompiling the worker. Should probably put some message in there. Recompiling worker. I'm not sure if I would know that or not. All right, cool. So that took care of that. So now we got to figure out how does this even work? So let's take a look at this. This is my host. This is basically host of my worker. Message port endpoint. So is this just a way for the worker to call back into the host? I think so. I think so. That makes sense because it has to be some sort of service call both ways, because there's not going to be a response. Not a traditional response, not like a Ajax call where you have an open port to the other server and you're just waiting for the response to come back. In this particular case, it's basically I'm sending a message and I don't know what happened to it. There's not a blocking action where it's waiting for some sort of response from the quote unquote server. So it does make sense where you might have to have a service endpoint for both sides. So let's go ahead and create a package. Let's just call it service, just so that we're familiar with. So I'm just going to use the same stuff. So my worker, that's going to be an interface, and this is going to be an endpoint. Extends message port endpoint. Oh, okay. So the you're annotating it with the corresponding response side. So I have to create that, but that does create a cyclic dependency between these two. I'm just gonna call it my main. I don't like my host. I don't know why. It probably makes sense, but not in my brain right now. So that creates the... Right now, let's just do a ping pong. So on the worker, we're doing the ping. And the main, we're going to do a pong. Of course, we could have done a synac if we wanted to. All right. All right, so let's see how this works. So on the worker side, let's take a look at the worker side first. So I'm gonna need that impl. So let's go ahead and copy this over. So on the worker entry point, so this is the worker side. I don't have a common side, but let's minimize some of this screen real estate. Probably need to have a chat widget above here, but nobody ever chats my stream, so that's fine. All right, so my main, my worker, factory worker factory of main impl new. See, this is where so I need to import or inherit that module. See, and that's the drawback to the SDM mode, the legacy side of things, because it's not going to do the compilation. I need to figure out how that's going to work. Yeah, this is just an empty module. I guess I could have an empty module as well. How does it have an empty module though? Because we are... It's probably... that shouldn't have been like that. It's getting its inheritance because we're loading it in something else that already inherited the RPC stuff, so we wouldn't need it otherwise. Just Maven compile should get that set right. I do not. I am not entirely sure how to do that. I have to look that up every single time. Yeah, how does that work? Symbol. Scope equals provided usually. You may have not been here whenever I was adding this. How do you get the generated stuff? Oh, that's empty too. I didn't see that in the sample though. Wait, processor. Ow, this one right here. Or what else I'm gonna need. So on which side? On the common jar? I would assume so. Wait, processor. It's gonna be converter span RPC alpha 6. See if it's able to grab that. Yep, there it is. I should probably throw this into, I'll do that later. Throw that into dependency management. So go ahead and compile again, see if that changed anything. Nope. What else should I need here? That may have worked that time. Filing coding has not been set using platform. That may have worked. Sources, annotations, yeah, there we go. All right, cool. Oops, I did not do that. I need to import that now. Main import. Now, do I need to probably need to change my POM to include the generated types? Not able to see it. Yeah, I see it here. Yeah, and I see it in my classes. Yeah, that is weird. Can't I see that? Let me refresh. There we go. may have needed it may have needed to update some internal directory reference for the other Maven stuff. All right, cool. So that worked. Cool. I don't know if I need to restart this. I'm gonna try just refreshing and see if that does anything. Did you forget to inherit? Let's see. Yeah, because common doesn't have any inheritance. This one. So I already have the RPC to workers. I don't know if I need any of the other stuff. So what? This legacy RPC classes? I only have a single method in here, and it's void. Where is that needed? I'll just throw it in there anyways. I'll just throw that in my common. Where's my common? I don't know. See if that works. Alright. Type mismatch cannot convert JS array to JS string. What the hell is it trying to do? Because my endpoints are void methods. Just ping and pong. Void methods. I'm gonna put common maybe down here. Unable to convert or cannot convert from JS array to JS string array. Maybe I should recompile, restart. Yeah, let me stop these servers because I did change some stuff. You just do a clean install. This is too old for modern elemental. Oh crap. So Alpha 6 is from a really early elemental. Yeah. Ow. Oh, wait a second. That should be fine. Oh, I need to include the other source. Because I'm not using a Thomas Breuer. Client. The worker. Oops. Come on. And comment. I'm gonna have to look that up. Well, crap. So that's going to cause some issues with any of the other testing here. Yeah, it's gonna cause problems. Yeah. Cannot convert from JS array. Okay. Well, that sucks. I mean, workers isn't that large. What version of WinRPC or Elemental is this using? Oh, release candidate 1. What am I using? Zero. When was this last modified? December 10th, 2019. So yeah, this is a little old. Let's just see what we got here. I guess I would need the endpoint processor too. So what does that actually look like? Just curious of what the source code looks like in the output. Typical RPC related kind of stuff. Looks like we might have to update the worker side. Let's take a look at the compile log. This is on worker factory. Worker factory. I'm assuming it was line 64. Yeah, line 64. Type mismatch. Can I convert from JS array? Oh, okay. So, I mean, we gotta scrap this for a little while until we can get the worker side updated with its newer versions of like Elemental. Unless I were to look at Elemental, I don't want to go back to an old version, to a 1.0 release candidate. All right, well, let me take a break real quick. I need to go feed my cats. It's actually after that time, and I will be right back. All right, I am back. Sorry that took a little bit longer. This is Bubba. Music just stopped abruptly? Oh, that's weird. I wonder if my stream cut out. Yeah, sorry about the delay. I had an Amazon delivery. I had to put that away, and this little guy, he decided to come up and join me. Yeah. All right, so I am not entirely sure where to go with this without updating the workers upstream source, and that is it because it's an alpha 6 or something like that. Yeah, alpha 6. So we might have to contribute to that. Not entirely sure about that. Let's see, where are we now? This is one snapshot. You know, I wonder if my watch may have paused the Spotify. That's very possible. I was running around the house trying to put some Amazon subscribe and save stuff away. It's very possible that I accidentally pressed pause on the watch. I have no idea what the current state of this project is. It really hasn't been touched in 3 years. May have to talk to Colin about that. I know that Colin messaged just a while ago that he has to go into a meeting, so may not have him for a little bit. So I'm not entirely sure where to go with this, other than just taking a look at some of the processor code just to see how it worked. So let's take a look at this real quick. I might change my camera to this side so that you can see the code a little bit better. Not sure how well that shows up on stream. Increase the font size, collapse that. That's a little bit better. Hide my camera. So endpoints, this is basically just grabbing all of the types that are annotated with endpoint. It seems to be fairly straightforward. Implement. There we go. There's the implement. That's basically all that's outputted with this stuff. I don't know. Probably a little bit more to bite off than I want to in the stream. What else we got here? So let's just go back to the other workers sample. Let's see, like, assuming this worked, what would be involved? So on the other worker side, here we're basically, when it's connected, page communication factory, which is a worker factory. So that's creating, oh, this is the chat one. Am I looking at the wrong? Oh, I was looking at the simple worker before, so let's keep that one. So that does take a message port, just self. I could probably just cast that. Just a message port type. Because I really don't want to use Disney for any of this. That's like old school. That's going away. Not GWT or Jackal compatible. So this is a class though. A lot of the this basically seems like the don't know about the start and stuff like that, but looks essentially like the global namespace. So if I were in, oh wait, did I think I restarted? That was because I was trying some stuff out and that wasn't going to work. Kind of put this in an awkward state, didn't I? Well, I could I can go to those two classes. Let's get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. So my worker, my main, for both of these, come on IntelliJ. Let's just comment out the endpoint annotation. So now it won't get the annotation processor applied to it. And let's go up here. Let's go back to install. Let's make sure that we can. Probably need to do a clean because it probably still has some of the old generated classes. Yeah, I do a clean. Well, that's weird. Didn't I change that? do a clean and install here. Just on the other common. Oh wait, I did Java. I also need resources. Duh. For some reason I was thinking it's just going to work. So anything in here. Food. Can I do that? There we go. There's the other common. Okay, cool. That was a mistake on my side. Hopefully all of this compiles now. Oh, yeah, that's correct, because it's no longer creating that, so let's go ahead and get rid of that. There we go. All right. So let's just see if we can run this now. Come on. There we go. Wow, that took a while. Alright, so it's the server. Let's do the main thread. I just want to make sure that I get back to a working state. Still want to look into the worker factory kind of stuff. Because basically anything that you can do with RPC services, we should be able to do the same on worker communication. There we go. Here, refresh that, make sure we're going back. Everything's back to normal. Alright, cool. Alright, so keeping up with this, yeah, we will have to mess around with that. But let's see how that works. So we create a worker factory, we have the factory, we wrap remote message port, which is going to be self, which is just the other cell for the global. Here, I can actually get that. So self is the dedicated worker global scope. Does it have start on it? No. I'm just confused. Let me go back over here. What's the name of that? Message port. Message port. I don't get the start and close. I know that. Well, that doesn't exist. Yeah, that's just an overlay. That makes sense. But that does exist. I don't. That doesn't have the start and close. I'm curious. Let's take a look at the the workers. Let's check out the linker. Wondering if it created start and close methods. Alright, so when is self. WND is self. It doesn't look like it added anything special. That's weird. Kind of wonder why there's a start and close, because that doesn't exist. Was that an old specification? Well, that exists. Start does not. Located order. Let's just take a look at the MDN. Yeah, there's close. Yeah, I'm not seeing a start though. I don't even see a start on deprecated methods. So I don't think that ever existed. Is it ever actually called? I'm curious. That's a worker linker. Where in the world was that? Here it is. Self. Yeah, I don't know if that does anything or not. Let's go to this one. Message port endpoint. Remote. Message port endpoint. It just has a. Can I see the subclasses of this? I don't even know what Paco is. What is Paco? Because I saw the JavaScript in here, or a couple of JavaScript files for Paco under public. Yeah, Paco. Wonder if that's like some sort of serialization utility. Is that gonna be like a Node.js thing? I'm not sure. Looks like it does like a compression. I guess that makes sense if you're communicating over a message bus. You'll want to compactify. You don't want to send over a bunch of crap. Yeah, that's a huge file. I do not want to take a look at this. I don't know what the Paco is. Go JavaScript. High-speed Z-Lite port to JavaScript. So what, like gzips? Oh, that's cool. So it looks like an inline compression. So it looks like, okay, yeah. That's kind of what I was thinking, looking through it. So, yeah, I see that Colin's back. Probably, sort of. So I was just going through some of the worker code, because there's not much I can do right now without getting an update on the worker stuff, at least with its dependency on elemental. I also was trying to figure out the start method, because it looks like this message port is basically excuse me. Sorry about that. The dedicated worker global scope, there's a close method, there's the post message, and there's the add event listener and stuff like that, but I don't see a start. So I don't know if start is actually needed or used or could be used. At least from looking at the usage of it. Let me go back to that sample. So in the sample, it's calling self, which is just returning the WND, which is basically self. So coming over here, and I'm looking inside of my worker scope here. I can even do WND. And that's my dedicated worker global scope. Start is not a thing. Close is a thing. It has a bunch of other just garbage on it. Yeah, maybe Colin wasn't here. He's probably half listening in his meeting. So I don't know. There's probably not much more I can do on this subject, because I was hoping to be able to do some sort of serialization between the other two. Being able to take something inside of the main, passing it over to the worker. And all would be good at that point. So I don't know. That's something that we have to figure out. If we want to have some worker thread that's actually usable. Because I was thinking about being able to use it for like data store, being able to have a worker thread that's just constantly like indexing the data and making sure that. Yeah, I was reading chat. I was replying to you. I was just curious though, like some of these functions or methods. Yeah, I know, and I was talking directly to you. I was asking about the start method, because that doesn't seem to actually be on the dedicated worker global scope object. I don't think it's actually being used. I don't know. I'd have to go into the WIT-RPC worker code to see if it's actually using that method for anything. Yeah, but you're returning, I'm saying you because you're the one that committed this code. Self is returning a message port, which is WND, which will be the dedicated worker global scope. Right, so you're using like duck typing, so I'm assuming that nothing is actually ever calling start because that function doesn't actually exist. And I would hope something wouldn't call close, because that would actually cause problems, since it would basically clean up the scope. Where is that? Discards any task queued in the event loop, closing the particular scope. So hopefully it would never do anything like that. But yeah, may have to work on this maybe sometime next week. See if I can, I don't know, check out the GWT RPC upstream source and provide a pull request. But I know that there's other pull requests out there that are fairly old that have never made it. So I don't know what the probability is for any additional pull request to ever make it into this project. Yeah, I mean, that would be the most ideal. I was just going over that code just to see if I could understand it. No, I'm just messing with you. So yeah, unless I were to move my code back to elemental 001, what is it, 100 release candidate 2, I think that's what it uses. Might have some issues with it. Is it a possibility just for playing around? Let's try it out. I think it's release candidate. Oh, is it release candidate 1? Stop all my servers. Hold on a second, my dog's trying to get under the blanket. Go on. There you go. Yeah, that's what I was assuming. So let me clean all of this stuff up. Obviously, I don't want to use this long term, and I don't know what's going to be broken on my side. Yeah, like this. It's like, I don't even know what this data is. Oh, that's weird. Oh. The method signature is different. Target origin. I don't think that's a thing. Yeah, let's just mess with it until something works. And why does this work? Oh, it's because that's worker and not... I'm probably misusing this because this is actually window, which is self, and it's not actually the global or dedicated worker global scope. Is there a dedicated worker? Oh, there is. How do I get that? Dedicated. Oh, why can't I spell today? Dedicated worker global scope. Self. I know that, but for some reason, Dawn Global Self is returning window. I'm just gonna cast. Hope for the best. So I should be able to get rid of that now. I don't know. Let's see. So let's clean, install. Oh, this music bites. I hate royalty-free music. Let's try electronic. That was just putting me to sleep. Oh, come on. You don't like music? I don't like the quiet. Ambient. Alright, that seemed to have worked. Start Tomcat, then all of the threads, SDM. SDM. Oh, okay. Closed captioning, got that. And of course, I didn't uncomment the services, the endpoints. I just want to make sure that nothing is broke before I do that, since I did just downgrade to a seriously old version of Elemental. There we go. All right, so come back over here. Network error. Let's see, what did we load? Did I get to this point? Okay, I did get to this point. You know, it's probably that cast. I bet it was that cast. So I need to grab the entry point. It's loading this. Must be the cast, though. Would have to be the cast. Alright, let me, oh, I can't do that. Let me just comment it all out for now. Don't need that breakpoint anymore. No, still having problems. Clean up their caches, maybe. Glad it's Friday. This is a long week. Okay, that seems to... Oh. Thought it was going to. Let me just check back here. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any compilation errors. Clear that. Refresh. Yeah, looks like it was able to complete that. Yeah, it's not lagging something. I don't even know what that is. Null.error. Here we go. No. I don't think that's related. I think I need to wait. You think that's it? I don't even think that I'm to that point yet. I mean, maybe it is. My interface maybe implementation. Yeah, I don't know. What am I doing wrong on this side? I mean, it could be because of the really old versions of Elemental. I don't know. Alright, so let me comment all that out. There we go. Okay, that time that worked. Let me try this without posting a message. I mean, it's still there. Even whenever I'm loading successfully. I don't even know what this vendor's bundle JS is. Where it came from. There's the requester for that. Is that a browser thing? We got... Where did this come from? Yeah, it's possible. Clockify? Oh. Haha. Well, that's not my problem. Just put a breakpoint there. Or wait, let me that. Yep, that's fine. What I need is the main entry point. Why would all of a sudden this start failing? Cache. Cache. Are we getting to this point? We are getting to that point. Then it's trying to load this. This is just the actual permutation. Yeah, I don't think it's liking something. I thought I commented that out. Did I not comment that out? That may be my problem. Because it's still trying to cast. Nope, still has a uncaught error. I don't know. Because I'm not doing anything in here anymore. Alright, so I was able to import the script. Now it's trying to call GWT onload of undefined. That's correct. At least that's what's in the template. And module name, which is O. Worker. P, just empty string, and then C is 0. Let's step into that. I didn't help any. Let's pause on uncut exceptions this time. Here we go. Oh yeah, document doesn't exist. Where's this coming from? Where is that coming from? Some initializer. Where? My worker entry point? This is the whole thing. The only difference is I pulled in an older version of Elemental. Is there something in Elemental, like in an overlay or something, that does something stupid? So this might not even work all anyways. So I assume that maybe if I were to change my console, refresh that. Breakpoints. Yeah. It's because of console. Ugh. So if I did that, does this have a problem? Yeah, it's dumb. Yeah, that has a problem. So I can't do that. Oh, Disney? Ugh. Private, native, dedicated worker. That's very possible. That bug doesn't exist anymore, at least. Okay, so if I did self console. What? Self has console? Seriously? Oh, is it? Sorry. Yeah. This should have console. You're just missing a lot of the API here. I think that's why you also did console in a different way. I think you implemented your own console. Maybe not. Unless it's a, maybe it's a private type. I don't know. This is a real bad way to get into this. Oops. There we go. Inside the worker thread. Ugh. Yeah, this seems like a really far step back. I think it would be better to update to the newer version of Elemental than trying to make mine backwards compatible. Well, not backwards compatible, but legacy compatible. There we go. Oh, so far so good. This is stupid. We just JS cast self. All right, that did not work. Do I have to do Disney for everything? I mean, come on. Oh wait, I didn't actually update this code up here. Oh, wrong message port. What is this message port? Is that a duplicate? That might be a duplicate. Maybe it was... oh, that's kind of weird. Message port. Maybe that was why I was having problems just a while ago. Because I was casting to the wrong type. Oh, it still doesn't work. I don't know what the problem is now. Seems like I'm going in a really weird direction on some of this. It would probably be safer if we updated. So I'm probably just going to end it here. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get into the serialization, deserialization. My time has been freed up, so I might be able to stream an extra time next week. Might actually talk to Colin about this off stream to see what we can do about updating the RPC stuff to more recent version of Elemental, then go from there. So I appreciate anybody that stopped by. Going to cut it for today. Hope everybody has a great weekend, and I will talk to you next week. Goodbye.